late start behind that one. We're back with segment number 2. So the NFL season is cooking just the way everybody likes it, but the season is not on script. Why? Well, what is up is now down, and what is down is now up. I'll give you an example. If you're a Washington Commanders fan, you were prepared that you were coming into this new, fresh Washington football season, and Jalen Daniels was going to be your guy. Jalen Daniels was going to resurrect the great Washington Commanders, once known as the other name, and he got hurt. If you were the Buffalo Bills, you were hoping for a little bit better record. You're 8-4, but not too bad. If you were the Miami Dolphins, well, not much hope was there. If you were the Baltimore Ravens, Steelers, Bengals, you were really hoping that your division was going to be a lot better than having two teams that are 6-6 and another team that's 4-8. If you were the Indianapolis Colts, you would take this season in a heartbeat. And if you were the Chargers and the Chiefs, you really thought this was going to be a different year. If you were the Detroit Lions, you're trying to figure out what happened. If you're the Minnesota Vikings, you were a fool to think that guy was going to be your quarterback. And if you were out west, it's as par as supposed to be. But nobody expected New England to bounce and make adjustments this fast. Nobody expected the Jacksonville Jaguars to be where they are. People still don't have hope. And nobody really thought Denver would be one of the better teams in the NFL. Not just one of the better teams, the number 2 better team. And yeah, that's how this season has turned out. With that being said, the better question is, are the Dallas Cowboys the best team in the NFL right now? The Dallas Cowboys have won their last 3, while the Philadelphia Eagles have lost their last 2. One of those games is against Philadelphia. Another game is against Kansas City on Thanksgiving. A great game, by the way. The Cowboys look good, somewhat. They're scoring a lot of points, which they've been able to do all year. But their defense is still very shaky, and very, very much shaky. So it made me think, are the Cowboys the best team? Well, they can't be, because the Cowboys ain't even in the damn playoffs if it started today. The Cowboys currently right now are behind Detroit if we're looking at playoff rankings, and they're currently, Eagles are 8-4. The Cowboys are 6-5. So the Cowboys need to do a lot more to win the division, and they need to do a lot more to try to get into the playoffs. So which team happens to be the best team in all of football and has the best chance of making a run and has the best chance of winning it all? Well, I did it like this. I based my information on teams that actually score points. Yards can be very deceiving. You put up a lot of yards but not score any points. So, who's scoring points, but more importantly, who is stopping teams from scoring points? Well, let's get into it. In the AFC, currently right now, teams that, if we look at the playoffs today, in the AFC, the New England is sitting at the top, then Denver, Jacksonville, Baltimore, the Chargers are the 5th. Is that right? Yeah. Chargers are the 5th, Colts 6th, and then Bills are the 7th. Well, I'm going to discount the Chargers because I don't think they're really any good. But what do I know? But when we look at that, right outside of the Bills, you got the Texans, Pittsburgh, and Kansas City. Well, let's do it. In the AFC, the Colts are first in scoring touchdowns, 20th in allowing touchdowns. That ain't good. The Colts defensively, and it's being shown because they're being exposed a lot in these last few games, where they are not one of your better teams in the form of stopping people from scoring. Second in scoring is the Bills, but they're 7th on defense, which I feel like the Bills is kind of, yes, would the Bills like to be a higher seed? Absolutely. But I think the Bills, their mission is to win the Super Bowl. And they're kind of like in that state of like, let me just get in. Once we get in, we will turn it on, which unfortunately you want, just because you get a home field advantage or whatever does not give you the Super Bowl. There's been a lot of AFC Championship games that have gone to Buffalo and they haven't got it done. So maybe, just maybe, looking at the numbers and how they are 7th in defense and allowing points, perhaps the Bills are the team to worry the most about when playoff time comes. New England, 3rd in offense, 3rd in defense. Holy smokes, what year is this? I have to look at the calendar because New England is New England again. And it didn't take long. It took what's his name, Jared Mayo. They used him basically. In wrestling, they have a term. It's called the transitional champion. He was a transitional coach, pretty much. They had to put a coach there until the coach they want became available. Well, this guy, Vrabel, has got New England looking like the Tom Brady years all over again. Now, let's freeze. New England's not new to having success. They went to the Super Bowl in the 80s. They went to the Super Bowl in the 90s. But it was the Tom Brady years that put them in a different plateau, all right? Kansas City is 4th in offense, but their defense is dog crap. Jacksonville is 5th in offense, and their defense is also dog crap. Denver, 7th in offense, 2nd in defense, just behind the Texans, who are trying to get in. Denver is the scarier team because the true home field advantage is people going to Denver to play in the Super Bowl. And right now, Denver will have home field until if and when they play New England, which then New England, that's the chair, which New England would get home field advantage. Now, let's go to the NFC. The chair, I swear to God, it's the chair, guys. In the NFC, Dallas is currently 1st in points, but they are terrible on defense. They are next to the bottom when it comes to give. Are you ready for this? They allow 28 points a game against them. Even if Dallas makes it, their defense is so trash, they would win on luck right now. They have to literally outscore at the last second. Detroit, who currently right now would be is on the outside looking in, 2nd in offense, 6th on defense. If they get in, they can make some noise. Seattle, 3rd on offense, 2nd in defense. This is in their conferences. Seattle with Sam Darnold every day goes to bed, and when he looks up, there's a Jets poster, and he just goes, "Yep, you gave up on me." And then next to the Jets poster is a Vikings poster, and he goes, "Yep, you too gave up on me." Goes to show you, kids, you gotta have a little patience in this world. The Rams are 4th in offense, 1st in defense, which is crazy to think because right now they are the top. They're tied for the number 1 spot in their division, and as quiet as it is, the Rams, who won a Super Bowl, which feels like forever ago, is not that long ago. And Matthew Stafford, who feels like, I think Matthew Stafford got drafted when I left college. I could be wrong. It feels like he's been in the league for over 1,000 years. But he's having a great year. The Rams defense is phenomenal. And if they get in, which they will, I feel like the Rams is the team you should be most afraid of. All right? Chicago, 5th on offense, terrible on defense. They actually have one of the worst teams as far as like defensively and stuff like that. Green Bay, 6th on offense, 3rd on defense. And the 49ers, 7th on offense, 4th on defense. Defensively, though, the Eagles are 5th, and Carolina is 7th. So you got a lot of good defensive teams, but it still doesn't answer the question. Who is the team that I think could go all the way? Well, let's sum it up here. Defense, to me, is what makes it happen. And today, right now, on this show, episode 9, December 2nd, 2025, I'm putting in the Super Bowl. I'm going Buffalo Bills and San Francisco 49ers. I don't like them, but they've been too quiet. And they've been doing a lot of damage. And quiet as it's kept, the 49ers got a decent offense and a very good defense. And I feel like Buffalo gets in, they're going to make noise. And I feel like the 49ers are going to be pretty good. I was going to talk about the Chiefs And if they don't make it, we got other stuff to do, right? We got because we got to move on. I hope you guys are excited. I'm going to talk hockey in the third segment, so stick around. But first, before we do that, you got to have the best news in just 4 minutes. Hold on, I can't turn the page. All right, sorry. With that being said, we're going to take if you're listening on the podcast, you won't get the news. If you're watching on YouTube and Facebook, you will get the news. And if you're listening on DJ Chase Radio, of course you're going to get the news. So stick around, buckle up. We'll be right back. Stop. Yes, I'm dreaming. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. The best news in 4 minutes. Let's go. All right, tennis. Serena Williams said, I ain't coming back. Serena Williams hasn't played in the last few years. The 44-year-old, 23-time Grand Slam champion ain't got nothing else to prove. I don't blame her. Go be a mommy and enjoy life doing that weird commercials you do. But there's more important stuff to talk about, like the college football playoff championship. But this weekend is college football's conference championship weekend, starting with this Friday, 2 games. The Sun Belt. Troy is going to take on number 25, James Madison, who has playoff implications. They lose to Troy. 1, where the hell is Troy? But 2, James Madison won't make it. Then the next game is number 24, North Texas will take on number 20, Tulane. Have a little connection to Lane. My sister-in-law went there and graduated. They're playing for the American Athletic Conference, the AAC. I know, right? None of these teams are making the playoffs, by the way. All right. Saturday, the Big 12, number 11, BYU taking on number 4, Texas Tech. Let me tell you right now, if you're BYU, you cannot lose. You have to win because the winner of this makes the playoffs. The SEC championship. Number 3, Georgia is taking on number 9, Alabama. Regardless, the loser is getting in. Alabama, though, may not. Alabama's got some losses on their record, and a third loss can keep them out. Then the Big 10, number 2, Indiana is taking on number 1, the Ohio State. Big game, big implications. Both teams should probably make the playoffs with the loss. And then finally, the ACC. Duke is in the championship, taking on number 17, UVA. As respect to my man Jeff, we are rooting for UVA, and we're pushing for UVA, and we're pushing for UVA to make the playoffs to give them Miami and UVA, and that's it. Because Clemson crapped the bed. We got to keep moving, shall we? Let's go to the NBA and how the season is looking right now. The Detroit Pistons are sitting at number 1. The Knicks, who are losing right now to the Boston Celtics, are number 2, followed by Miami, the Raptors, the Magic, and then Cleveland. 7 through 10 are the Hawks, the Boston Celtics, the 76ers, the Chicago Bulls. The Washington Wizards, well, they just keep sucking. Out west, Oklahoma City is not just the best team in the league. They have just 1 loss. The Oklahoma City is 20-1, followed by the Lakers at 15-5. Houston, Nuggets, San Antonio, and Minnesota. 7 through 10 is Phoenix, Golden State, Memphis, and the Trailblazers. Even though their head coach ain't around, the New Orleans Pelicans, they just keep getting worse and worse. The NBA Cup, when does it resume? That's a great question, but I believe it's soon. The teams that made it at a respectable group, the group play. The Raptors won Group A. The Magic won Group B. The Knicks won Group C with a wild card of the Miami Heat. In the West, Group A, the Thunder with the wild card of the Suns. The Lakers made it. And then in Group C, the Spurs made it. We will be around, and we probably will call the championship game. Let's go to the NFL. We talked about this. Let's make it quick. The New England Patriots are sitting as the best team in all of football, followed by the Denver Broncos at number 10. In the NFC, the Eagles are currently right now 8-4, but the best team in the NFC are the Rams and the Seahawks tied. In the NHL, you're looking at the Lightning 17-7, followed by Carolina is 16, and both teams are 16-7. And the New Jersey Devils are 16-9. The worst team in all of the East is the Toronto Maple Leafs at 11-11. Out west, the Colorado Avalanche 18-1, best record in all of the NHL, followed by the Dallas Star, then the Anaheim Ducks, the Mighty Ducks. The worst team out west is Nashville at 8-13. This, ladies and gentlemen, has been the Downright Sports News. Like, comment, and subscribe on all social media platforms. All right, let's wrap this up, shall we? It's always fun doing the show. It really is. It's really nice. All right, we're going to try something, okay? I am going to possibly embarrass myself here because we're going to talk NHL, and I've been telling my wife I want to talk more NHL. I really do. I actually think hockey is really cool. Why don't I talk NHL? I'm dyslexic and can't say half these names. But for the most part, I just don't see it as much as I would like to. I could watch it. I don't really have an excuse. I just don't. Any case, it made me look, and I saw that when I was